anfangen. Wann haben wir das auf die Webseite? Ist es ist nicht, es wird eh nicht gestreamt, also ist es tatsächlich
Doch,
nur, es wird auch gestreamt.
Ja, die englische ist gestreamt.
Morning. That's fine. We waited for you specifically, so. Ready? Well, good morning. It's still pretty early here in Hagenberg. The sun is shining, and I'd like to welcome you to our open house here at the Hagenberg campus at the School of Informatics and Digital Media. The Hagenberg campus has truly grown over the past 30 years, and as you can see, we have a number of different university buildings and dorms and companies. We'll get into that a bit more later. This university actually consists of 4 separate campuses in Upper Austria. In Linz, we have a focus on medical technology and social sciences. In Wales, we have a focus on engineering and natural sciences. And in Steyr, we have a focus on business management. Here in Hagenberg, of course, it's all about computer science, digital media, design, and communication. We were actually the first campus to start as one of these so-called universities of applied sciences back in 1993 with a program called software engineering with a total of 36 students. And the goal was to try to create a more modern, industry-oriented university. And in the past 30 or so years, it's become a hotspot for a lot of digital innovation, right? So we have about 75 companies that are around the area. We have a number of startups. We have 11 research institutes and also 2 Josef Ressel centers. If you're familiar with that, they're very prestigious research centers. There are about 1,400 people who work here, teach here, research here, and about 1,600 actually study here. Some of them are part-time, but in total we have 1,600 students in a total of 25 different study programs, from the different bachelor programs to masters, and even including PhD students. So if we look back to the past, this isn't quite 1993, it's the late 1990s. We have this sort of oval building which housed our first 2 lecture halls. You can see some images of that. That's what it looked like back in the late 1990s. And today, it's grown significantly. Again, we have about 1,600 students, slightly over 9,000 graduates from the first programs, 23 degree programs in total, about 100 associates in the fields of research, and we tend to turn out about 400 to 500 graduates per year. We also like to get lecturers from the industry, so we have about 250 part-time lecturers who are able to share their knowledge with our students, and a total of 70 professors on campus. If we take a look at what we can study as an undergraduate or a bachelor program, we have programs like hardware, software design, mobile computing, and secure information systems. These are our systems programs. Software engineering, medical and bioinformatics, and now our new artificial intelligence solutions, which is also available in English. Communications and knowledge media, media technology and design, which is one of the older programs, and for the first time it will also be offered in English. Digital arts, and the design of digital products. And we also have a number of consecutive master's programs that you can attend. One of the unique aspects of this university is that the focus is on computer science. You don't actually need to know how to program beforehand. It's obviously not a bad thing to be able to do that, but we basically start from scratch, even if you've never programmed before. If we take a look at basically our departments or our program structures, we have programs that focus more on software development, like software engineering, medical and bioinformatics, artificial intelligence, and mobile computing. We have the systems programs, which I mentioned before, hardware software design as a dual program, which means that people are working while they're studying, and secure information systems. And the program that I teach in is the media program, and we have design of digital products, communications and knowledge media, media technology and design, and digital arts. Our programs are fairly international. We take on students particularly in during the Erasmus exchange programs. We take on a lot every single year. And now we've decided to further this focus a little bit by offering more programs exclusively in English, including artificial intelligence systems, digital energy solutions, and media technology design and interactive media. So these are full-time programs that are offered entirely in English. If we take a look at artificial intelligence solutions, it's kind of hard to not even think about things without AI at the moment. It's basically everywhere. And so this is a program that focuses on basically delivering not only the theoretical concepts behind artificial intelligence, but actually encourage people to think of new innovative applications and give them the tools to build tools for tomorrow. We have media technology and design with a little typo there, as I can see. And this is the program I've been working in since 2003. And the idea of this program is to create generalists who are able to work in more modern media production settings. These are people that have a very wide range of skills, from web design and development, some software engineering, game design and development, and also video production. Digital Energy Solutions is a very new program. This is one of our new master's programs being offered in English, and it's supposed to be an interdisciplinary program that's going to take a look at how we can use computer science to transform the energy sector. So if you're interested in sustainability and energy and efficiency, this is a good program for you. Another program that I work in is interactive media. This has been in English for, I think, about 10 years now. And this is in some ways a continuation of the media technology and design program. The idea here is to give students much more in-depth experience with working with interactive systems, conceiving of and developing innovative technologies in the field of media. And so if you're interested in working in the game industry or computer graphics, also AI, this is a good choice. So why would you come to Hagenberg? It's a small place, but we have a couple of unique selling propositions. It's definitely become a hotspot for digital innovation. A lot of companies that you may have heard of, Runtastic, for example, was originally started by students who worked at this institution. And basically every year we have a couple of small startups that are starting from basically student projects, right? It's a fairly small location, of course, but it's very beautiful, a lot of nature surrounding it, and it allows you to focus on your education here. So you can work here, you can study here, you can live here, you can research here. There are a lot of companies that would allow you to maybe do an internship or also work in later years of the program. We have a very active student community, and they do a lot of their own sort of events. Next week, for example, there's a sort of a gaming event in the evening that everyone's invited to. We have pretty modern infrastructure here in terms of our labs and our studios, including motion capture systems and virtual reality labs, etc. We have a specific startup space called Bytewerk that can be used for students who want to try to create their own company if they're entrepreneurially inclined. And we have a pretty close-knit community. So even though there are 1,600 students here, pretty much everybody knows everybody else. And the class sizes are also very small. It's very easy to get to know the professors. And in addition to the professors on campus, we have, again, many industry experts that come in and teach as part-time lecturers. Okay, I have a short video here. I have not pushed play on this before. We'll see how it works. Is there actually a video here? Yes, there is. Okay, so we'll show that. Whoop. Yeah, it's not doing anything with the video, sorry. Shouldn't this be a video? Could be that the rights are not set up on the computer in the correct way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move on. I think the video's in German anyway. There's some English subtitles, but I don't think I can get this to work very quickly without starting the presentation. Okay, so I mentioned that the goal was for this university to be very industry-oriented or practice-oriented. And there are a couple of ways that we do this. One is that we actually try to integrate real-world projects. So sometimes companies come to us with an idea, something they would like to try. Sometimes these are also finance projects, research projects that are funded by the industry, and students are able to work on them. We also require our students to do an industry internship, either in the 5th or the 6th semester of the undergraduate program, where they need to spend about 3 months out in the industry working on really inspiring projects in various companies in Austria or also abroad. As I mentioned, we have a lot of industry experts that are involved in a lot of ways. They help us develop the curricula, and they're often available as teachers for very specific subjects. And again, we spend quite a bit of money keeping our labs and our studios up to date. That includes not only the cool sort of hardware and lab facilities like the Green Space Studio, but also Also software. We spend quite a bit of money on software using the industry standards. I would say that despite the fact that we're already industry focused, we're also research driven. So what that means is, in addition to our teaching tasks, we are also required to do research here, and we try to get students involved as much as possible. Sometimes that means working on a funded research project or simply experimenting in a particular field, trying something out. And we've also sort of institutionalized this idea of students are involved in studies and evaluations. So a part of our program, for example, students are required to participate in 2 to 3 studies or evaluations as a participant. So they can not only know a little bit about the stuff we're working on and contribute to the research, but they also have a better idea of how to do research later when they're doing their bachelor theses or their master's theses, etc. And it's a good stepping stone for an academic career. We have a number of students who've gone on to finish their PhDs. Okay, definitely the focus here is on quality over quantity. I mean, 1,600 students is a lot for a small place like Hagenberg, but it's a pretty small campus for a larger university. But we do that on purpose because we want to have the resources to have this personal support between students and staff. As I mentioned before, you don't necessarily have to program when you come here. And so we try to basically pick you up wherever you're currently at and try to quickly develop your skills over time. We have very small groups here. Typically classes are somewhere between 18 and 22 students in labs and integrated classes. So it's really easy to have time to talk, to be involved, to get integrated into the learning process. And we have a number of services on campus, including a career center, gives you ideas about maybe jobs that you can do, an international office if you'd like to go abroad, and a very modern library. Right. So if you're interested in doing something that's in a sort of an exciting career field, this is a really great place to do that. Again, you want to start your own company. We have a startup space. We have support networks for doing that. We also have a number of events that allow people to get in touch with companies that might be working in interesting fields, including something we call the career fair, where companies actually they actually pay to come here and look for potential employees or interns for the upcoming time frame. And as beautiful as it is in Hagenberg, you still have the option to go somewhere else. We have 150 partner universities in a total of 50 countries. We can see, I think Sweden's in there, we've got Japan in there, we've got, I'm not entirely certain where the third image is from. Does anyone recognize that? Not entirely certain. But in any case, 50 different countries. And you can either go there for a semester. We have this partnership means that we don't have to pay tuition fees if we go there. Or what I often recommend is to do your internship abroad, because that way you're also integrated into international work setting. Yeah, and of course, we're studying, we're working, we're gaining experience, etc. But there's also life outside of that as well. We have regular parties organized by the students on campus. We have our own pub and pub quizzes. There of athletic opportunities for different sports. We have a couple of bands on campus. We have our own recording studio on campus if you want to record your band. And we have regular guest lectures from former graduates, from interesting companies. We have a number of conferences and competitions, the Game Jam, for example, that we hold every year. So there's certainly plenty to do also outside of your studies. Yeah, here's just a couple of snapshots from student life. There's the Summerfest, right, which is a party the students organize with some local bands typically. We sometimes have a cinema evening out in the main courtyard. We have a nice cafeteria on campus that you can go to for a coffee. And of course, around Christmas time, we have our typical sort of mulled wine, sort of Glühwein event. And it's a great place to keep in shape. You don't just want to keep your mind in shape, you want to keep your body in shape as well. There are a number of different sports courses that you can take, different forms of martial arts, yoga, soccer, tennis, climbing, and we have access to a lot of gyms in the local area. There are a number of student-led activities, including volleyball, which often has a competition, dance, badminton, even chess. We have access to the University of Linz's larger university program if we want to do that with discounts on participation. And we have special events each. We have running training, we have bouldering courses. There's plenty to do away from the computer as well. One thing that's sort of unique about Austria is that there's a student union that you basically automatically belong to when you start studying here. and they are there basically to support you in every capacity. So they're there to give you information about possibilities. They have a little bit of a budget so they can fund activities as well. They organize parties, networking events. They can give you some advice on getting maybe funding to go abroad, or the best place to find housing, etc. They're there to support you, and from the very first day of your studies. Student housing was one thing I mentioned. It's actually quite diverse, surprisingly, for the size of the town. There are about 500 spaces in the student housing. There are a number of smaller apartments for 3 people that can be shared. There are single apartments and also private accommodations. In the very beginning, when we started, it was a bit of a challenge to find a fun place to live. But in the meantime, it's definitely improved, and we have a few different dorms. We have private opportunities and a lot of places to live. Living in Austria, again, there's housing available close to the campus. You can literally walk to campus in Hagenberg. There's also a really good bus service and a very good public transportation ticket called the Klima ticket you can get access to. And you can also check out the website apartments.fhooa .at to see what opportunities might be there. Roughly, you're looking at around 400 euros per month for your accommodations, whether it's at the dorm or might be a little bit more expensive in private capacities, but it's about the amount you're looking for. In Austria, people are also required to have health insurance. It's very good healthcare, universal healthcare, but you do have to pay for it. It's roughly about 60 euros per month for students, which is quite affordable if you compare it internationally, particularly considering what it all covers. Yes, you can work in Austria. This is something, I'm not originally from Austria, I'm from the United States. And when I first came here, I was not allowed to work, but now you can if you are a student. Yeah, you still have to go through the process of getting a work permit, but that's really just a formality. You can work up to 20 hours a week as an undergraduate or a graduate student. And then if you do your internship, of course, you're allowed to work full time in there. So you have to go through this public employment service in Austria, but you're definitely allowed to work if you need to do that to sort of make ends meet. And then after you finish your program, you actually have a job-seeking visa to get employment. So it's a really good way to find a job here in Austria. Okay, so you're at the open house. We're just starting off this morning. There's a lot of things to take a look at. We have several floors here in the main building. The info point is probably the best place to start if you just want to see, I think people in the audience have already been there, but you have your program folder and you can see what's going on and when. We have a campus tour that's basically every hour, and there's an English tour at 10:30 and at 2 p.m. We have study program talks in English for the ones that are taught, for the programs that are taught in English. We have a number of sort of advising stations upstairs where you can definitely ask in English as well. We have a number of projects and workshops that we're making available so you can try out some of the student games, for example, or web projects. And there are 2 workshops that I know we're sponsoring today. There's the digital sculpting workshop and the Unreal Engine workshop, if you want to take a look at those as well. And of course, there are people around campus to talk about student life, about sporting opportunities, student union teams, etc. If you don't find out everything you want to find out today, it's not a big problem. Of course, you can take advantage of the online study talks that are published on the website. There's also a really cool opportunity called One Day at Hagenberg, which allows you to basically come here for a day and follow a student around and go to all the classes and see what it's really like. We also have our own AI study bot. If you want to talk to that, you can access that via the website. And anytime you need some personal advice, you can give us a call, send us an email, and we can set up a meeting. Right, I don't know if you want to scan me, but we have a QR code here again that takes you to our main website where all this information is located. And this lecture is being streamed at the moment, but it will also be available online at a later point as well. For today, we have a bit of a competition as well. If you want to participate, there are a couple of prizes that you can win. So this is basically just a questionnaire about feedback for the open house. If you fill that out, then you come and you can basically be in part of a raffle, and some of the people that participate will receive a special prize. Thanks for coming to this short info session. Again, there's a lot going on today. Please take your time, look around, enjoy the weather, go outside a little bit as well, and hopefully we'll see you at one of the other stations. Thank you very much.
We have some questions from YouTube.
Okay, we have questions on YouTube. Awesome.
So the first one is like, what's the difference between artificial intelligence solutions on the FH and the artificial intelligence study at the university?
In Linz.
I suppose. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It's a good question. And I want to be fair to both programs. I think that in Hagenberg in general and our institution in general, we are definitely more applied. What I mean by that is, of course, we take a look at the theory and we take a look at sort of the components that we need, but we try to work on specific real world problems. And so, just in the first couple of years, you're doing projects that actually become part of your portfolio, right? You're working with GitHub repositories. You're doing a lot of things that you would definitely need in a workplace environment that the universities don't always necessarily prepare you for. So I would say that we're definitely more industry-oriented, practice-oriented, more about the doing. We learn about the theory as well, but that would be the biggest difference, I would say.
Okay, another question would be, is it possible when having a bachelor in AI from university to take the master in AI solutions at the FH?
To my knowledge, and I'm in my own digital media department, so I'm not entirely informed. I don't think there is currently an AI master yet. I know that there's one in the works. Yeah. And of course, yes, if you were to do a Bachelor of Science in Artificial Intelligence, you could do the master at our institution. The only requirement is for most of the master programs, you need about 30 ECTS of computer science background, but that should be easily covered for in that particular case. But the same thing could be said. You could do an AI program at another university and come and study interactive media, which is not solely AI, but uses a lot of AI as well. Or you could study computer science, yeah, and then come and study the AI master as well. So we try to make them modular so that it's possible to have people coming from different backgrounds, and that's very not only enabling and inspiring, but it's actually how innovation happens, is to have people from different fields sort of come in and approach things from a slightly different angle. So yes, that's possible in both directions. Okay, thanks for the questions online. I wasn't really expecting them at this time, but that's awesome. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us. We can set up like a video call or something like that. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you at some point in the next few months. Thank you.